Got another Cage Fury boy in front of me, another New Jersey Philly guy, Eric Nighttime Nolan. What's up, Eric? How you doing?
Good. How you doing?
Pretty good, man. As I mentioned, another Cage Fury guy fighting a CFFC 112, August 26th in good old Philadelphia. We're now a week out from the fight. You hype? You excited?
Yeah, I'm really excited. Super excited to get back in there.
Good stuff, man. I'm hoping to be there in person, so I'm excited to see it all go down, man. I've been watching the highlights. You're a stud. Can't wait to see it go down. So let me ask you first, Eric Nighttime Nolan. Love that nickname. Where does that come from? Who gave that to you? What is it?
I actually got it after my first fight. I came back, so I was in the Marines, and then I took my first fight while I was still in. When I got out, I came home, and I was freshly 21, so I went out with all my friends, and they were just like messing around with me, shooting me nickname ideas, and that's the one that stuck. Nighttime Nolan.
I love it, man. It has a nice flow to it, so I approve. So I see you have the Dante Rivera shirt on. Is that where you spent camp for this fight?
Yes.
Is that, you just want to talk a little bit about that gym, like who you train with? Is that place home?
Yeah, the place is home for sure. I ever since I moved back to Jersey, that's where I've been training. We got some savages on the card with me as well. Luke Fernandez.
Interviewed him yesterday.
Yep, he's defending his belt. Jerry Leshy, he's fighting for his first title. Nick Galante, his opponent pulled out. So he's going to probably get rescheduled for the next one. Nothing you could do there, but he's also a savage too. There's a bunch of guys that are showing up a lot, and we got Francis Marshall.
I interviewed Francis a couple weeks ago too. Great guy.
He just earned his UFC contract a couple weeks ago, and then Frank Wells, who's fighting for the title. He's been coming in a lot, helping me out. So
great squad, man. Interviewed Frank too. I think I interviewed like most of the guys you mentioned. They're all great guys. Excited to see you all go to work next Saturday, or next Friday. So you train in Jersey. Do you live in Jersey? I don't need to know your street name. I'm just wondering where you reside in the world.
Yeah, no, I was born and raised in Jersey, from Edison, but now I'm living down in Asbury Park. I still go to college. I go to Monmouth University. So living down here it's easier to go to school and then go and train. So it's a good location.
Crazy. You're still in freaking school kicking people's ass. I love it. So are you in Philly often? What are your thoughts on the city where the fight's at?
I mean, I like Philly, but I'm not like the biggest fan. Like if I didn't have to go there, like I probably wouldn't. But to go there and beat some ass, that's a different story.
Love that, dude. So I just got to ask the two, or at least my two, just like Philly ridiculous, stupid questions. Where's your favorite cheesesteak? Do you have one?
I don't have one.
No?
I don't have one. I gotta. We're talking about it after the fight for sure. We're gonna check out a couple spots. If you have any to recommend, let me know.
Delisandro's, man, it's my favorite.
Delisandro's?
Yeah, it's a little bit up north, but so good.
All right, cool.
But yeah, I don't know. In my opinion, any cheesesteak's good if it's from Philly. So my other Philly question is: are you a football fan? Are you an Eagles fan?
No, I'm a Giants fan.
Oh, dude, your whole gym's Giants fans, man. What the hell is that?
Yeah, I'm a Giants fan. Giants, Yankees, Devils. Yeah, not a Philly guy. Although I do like I am newly a 76ers fan.
That's cool. I love that. We'll agree there because Sixers.
I was never into basketball, but one of my really good friends is, and he's a 76ers fan. So I was like, you know what? Screw it. I'll go with them.
It's a good time to hop on the wagon too. We're looking good next season. But I was going to ask you about what you think the Eagles season is going to look like. So I'll ask you what the stinking Giants season is going to look like. Eagles and Giants, the whole NFC sucks in my opinion. But
yeah, recently in the past years, I mean, who knows? Hopefully Daniel Jones gets something going. But I don't know. My hopes aren't up. Like they're not high.
Hey man, the Eagles fan feels the same way over here. So whatever, we'll get them someday. So Now let's talk about your fight coming up. Your opponent, and I might get this name wrong, Ibrahim Kali. Do you know if I got that right?
I think so. I believe so.
Works for me, works for this. Have you watched any tape? What are your thoughts on him?
Yeah, I know he hits hard. He has some power. Yeah, he just likes landing those big overhands or left hooks. You know, he really tries to draw you in and then just rip you over the top with one. And he has the power to do so. So that's something I've been focusing on. If it goes to the ground, I'm not worried. I'm going to be fine with him on the ground. Like I said, I just really I just know he has power. I've watched some tape on him. I've trained with guys that have fought him. So, you know, I'm not too worried. I mean, I'm always nervous getting into a fight, no matter who it is. You could put my little brother in there. I'll still probably be nervous about it. But
right.
yeah, no, I'm excited to fight him.
Awesome, man. Your last time out was your first loss in your career. You were 7-0 before that, and then you just lost I think any split decision is controversial. If it's a split decision, that means there's really, everyone thought differently. So coming off of that loss, how did you deal with that adversity? What was it like losing for the first time? Where were you at mentally after that fight?
Obviously, like you said, it was my first loss, so it hurts. It hurts a little more, and I haven't lost in a long time since then. Like the last time I lost before that was probably in like high school wrestling or something.
Yeah.
Like I went away after high school, joined the Marines, and it's all I dreamed about was getting into that cage and making it big. And then I've gotten so much better within the first year of just fighting. Like it just came naturally to me. And that loss, like it haunted me for a little bit. Like I'm not gonna lie about it, but it's something that I use to get myself better. Like I'm going into this fight with a way better mentality. I was also like the pressure was on. The pressure was on me last fight. It was in my home crowd. I think it was like the most tickets I ever sold, and he was like a 2-week notice replacement for another guy I was supposed to fight.
He's 3-0, I believe, too.
Yeah, two.
He's no slouch.
No, he's a very, very talented fighter, and I rewatching the fight. I thought I lost. I thought I lost before the decision even came out because that's not how I usually fight. I was on my back foot a lot, and usually I'm the one coming forward and putting on the pressure, and I just let him get off too many shots and didn't. I returned, but just not enough. It was a very good fight. Like everybody said, it was a really good fun. It was a fun fight to watch. So, but I definitely learned a lesson from that. I upped the cardio in my sessions. I've always had good cardio, but I upped it even more. I got my weight down a little more earlier. I've made the little tweaks from last camp to this camp. I think I'm in a way better mindset, and I'm really, really hungry to return and show the people that the last fight was a one-time thing. That's not going to happen again. You're not going to see me fighting like that again.
I respect that you, I'll lack of better words, recognize or at least see the perspective that you lost, because a lot of fighters, no matter how clear a decision they lose, whether it's a split decision or a 30-27 UD, a lot of fighters like, no, I won that fight. I don't see how I lost that fight, blah, blah, blah. Whether it's true or not, I respect that you were able to say, I thought I lost that fight. So coming off the loss, are you going to do anything, bring anything differently into this fight? Or are you just going to go in business as usual, stay true to yourself? What's the game plan there?
Business as usual, and sticking with the game plan me and my coaches developed for this for this specific opponent. I don't think I need to change anything drastically in my fighting style. I think I have a good style. If it goes to the ground, I'm fine on the ground. If it stays striking, it stays striking. But I'm going to be putting the pressure on for sure. I have to. This is the time for me to go. I'm 24. I'm still young in this game. I know that, but I gotta go. Like this is my time to make a run, and I feel like I'm ready for it now.
Yes, sir. Love it. So let me ask you this question. What did you mentioned you were in the Marines? What did the Marines like? How does that help you prepare mentally, physically? What edge does that give you over other fighters who don't have that experience?
It's interesting you said that, because I feel like that was part of my last fight mentally. I wasn't really in tune with the inner Marine. Because I got out like now, I think it was like 3 years now since I've been out. So for this camp, I've been talking a lot more to my Marine buddies, and getting back in tune with that mindset and that mentality. But it definitely does have an advantage, because I just remember those days, being in the field or something, or being in the desert, sweating and like just being miserable. Being with all those guys and wanting to be where I'm at now. And now I have that opportunity, and I can't let it slip. I got to do it for myself, but I also got to do it for all those guys that I was with, that I remember telling them, like, yeah, one day I will be in the UFC. Like, mark my words. I promise you guys I'll make it. And we have a couple Marines going to this fight. So
that's awesome, man. Love that. I don't know if it's added pressure, but it's real. I don't know. When I used to wrestle, I used to like love when I wasn't in the Marines, but like when friends, family, that meant a lot to me to come see. So I can only imagine like how special that is. Your brothers are going to be there this weekend or next weekend. That's awesome, man. You fought at 2,300 before. What are your thoughts on the place? I love it there.
I like it too. The outside of that arena, it's, you go down the street, it's a little scary, but inside it's beautiful. It's gorgeous. It really puts you in the fight. Like, my first time fighting there, I remember walking around that cage and I was like, wow, like everybody's going to be right here. Like,
literally, dude, like
I remember in my last fight there, I heard everybody. I heard my coach. I heard my friends. I was hearing everything, and I liked it. It was cool. When you're doing something good, and you definitely know when you're doing something wrong.
Yeah.
So, especially with Dante, you'll know if you're doing something wrong real quick with him.
Loud coach.
Yeah, the loudest.
Hey, I always, as a spectator, when I hear a really loud coach, whether it's like Ray Longo or I can't think of who the really loud coaches are, but when I hear him screaming, that's gotta be, I feel like that's such an edge, like an advantage for you compared to like your opponent whose coach is not speaking. Like every time you hit, it's just like a, hey, like does Dante do that kind of stuff?
Yeah, he does.
And does that really like send like the fuel to you?
Yeah, and he'll be like, you got him right where you want him. And it's like kind of gets in the opponent's head, and it kind of like boosts your confidence up a little bit.
Yeah.
It's like having him as a corner, it definitely helps.
Because that's what I always think, that like you're not the only person hearing this, your opponent's hearing it too. So like, yeah, to hear something like you got him right where you want him, like shit, he does.
Yeah, they think about it for sure.
That's awesome, man. So you like 2,300. Where's your dream venue you want to fight someday? Anywhere in the world?
I recently watched one of my teammates fight in Madison Square Garden for PFL, and that was a really cool atmosphere.
MSG's dope. That's the poster I got right there.
I've never been to, believe it or not, I've never been to a UFC fight, so no. I haven't seen those big venues yet. But right now, I guess I would say MSG. I mean, I love fighting in the Hard Rock in Atlantic City. I love it. I think that by far is my favorite, the Hard Rock in AC, because you get fight night. It's exciting. They do this whole thing there, and then after your fight, you get to go out with your friends right there.
That's cool. Well, MSG is coming back in, I think, November 12th or something like that for UFC 281. So get your tickets.
Yeah, I might have to.
Yeah, dude. It's a good time. I'm telling you, it's worth the money. So you go 2-1, you redeem yourself, you redeem the loss, you get the dub. What's next for your pro career?
Well, I'd still have 2 more fights for Cage Fury.
Is that like a contract deal?
Yeah. So I would definitely I love Cage Fury. That's home to me now. Like they've taken such good care of me, and so I'd probably finish out. I'd see where it goes. I got a really good coach, Dante, who does all my managing stuff as well. So I definitely want to get that Cage Fury belt, but I also know that with that last loss, a little step back. So hopefully with this win, I want to fight again, like right after this. If all goes well, hopefully it goes well. It will go well.
Hell yeah.
I get another fight pretty soon. I want to keep this rolling. I'm young. I realize that you see a lot of these guys in the UFC that they become so good at a certain age, like 30, they're in their 30s. I want to try to get to that level at like 27 so I can fight for a while. I can fight at that highest level for a decent amount of time.
Yeah, man, extend that prime. So let's fast forward now. I don't know, 10, 20 years, you're retired. Everything went the way you wanted it to. How did that look? What was your dream career?
UFC champion, UFC welterweight champion. That's really, if that happens, I'll be so satisfied with my career. If I get that UFC belt, they say that all the stars have to align, everything has to go and work out a perfect way for you to get that shot. But I don't really believe that, I look at Brandon Moreno as like a big inspiration. When he said it, he was like, one day, maybe not tomorrow, maybe not the next day, maybe not next week, but one day I will be champion. It's something that I really truly believe in because, obviously he's an athlete, but he wasn't born with like these crazy genetics. He just put his head down and worked hard. And, that's something I feel like I could relate to. I was never born with, the crazy athleticism. I developed that over time and, I really worked hard for it. So I really believe that I could go on a tear, maybe 30-1 sounds pretty good.
Love it, dude. Got to get that 30 before Khabib does. So, so what's like a dream? This is just a fun question. If you don't have an answer, it doesn't matter. But what's like your dream fight? Any current, retired, fictional combat fighter of all time? Anything?
Dream fight. A dream fight for me would probably be to fight. It's probably cliche, but Conor McGregor. Because I'm such a fan. When I was the time I was in the Marines, that's when he was blowing up, and I was such a fan, and it would still be so cool just to share the octagon with him. That'd be insane. I would love that.
That'd be awesome. So if you care, you said McGregor, Luke Fernandez. He said, who'd he say? Oh, he said he wanted freaking John Jones.
Okay, he said Jones. I was gonna guess. I was gonna take a guess.
Oh, my bad. Well, you want to guess who Frank Wells said?
Frank Wells probably said like Anderson Silva.
Jose Aldo.
Jose Aldo? Damn.
Close enough. They're both GOATs,
Yeah.
And you said McGregor. So you three are crazy because I would never fight any of those people. So hats off. So Eric, obviously, I don't need to tell you this. Fighting is not an easy career, both mentally, physically. It's very demanding. You have to be 100% dedicated. It has the highest of highs and, as you know, the lowest of lows. When you get down, coming off of your first loss is a great time to ask you this question. What kept you motivated, inspired? What kept you going?
I really, that loss made me take a step back in my career, but I also, it made me take a step back as a person and really see who I truly am. How bad do I really want this type of thing? All the people that supported me and continue to support me, that really helped me. I gotta make it. I texted my dad after that fight. I was like, I promise you, I'm gonna make it. I need to make it. This is what I want to do. Obviously the schooling, it's hard to juggle a professional fighting career and being a full-time college student.
Yeah.
So I don't it's not like I'm an athlete through the school. So I still have to show up to every class, every quiz, everything. There's no oh yeah, you have a fight. So
yeah.
Yeah,
that's rough, man.
yeah, and doing homework, staying up all night writing essays, and then training for a fight after that. It's a lot, but this is something I really want. This is something I invested a lot of time into already, and I have a really big support system. So I want to I want to prove them right.
Yeah. So aside from Eric the fighter, let's just talk about you as a person a little bit. I feel like we don't really get this side of fighters enough. Just like, what do you do when you're not training or in the octagon? What are your interests, hobbies, things you like to do? How do you spend your time?
I love going out, eating. I'll go out to like restaurant. Like I like hanging out with my friends. I've had the same group of friends since I was like 6.
That's awesome.
Even throughout the Marines, like they've been there for me ever since. We have a really good clique. And that's what I enjoy doing. I like going out with them, even if I'm not drinking. I'll just like be socializing with them.
Yeah.
I love it.
That's awesome, man. I've been getting a lot of fighters who have been very like introverts lately, so it's cool to hear someone who's like, nah, I just like to go hang out with my friends.
Yeah, it is a lonely sport, like for sure.
Yeah.
Like there's like right now, especially like this past whole month and a half, 2 months, in the summer when everybody's, especially where I live, it's like right off the beach. Everybody comes down here, goes and drinks and all that. And I work at like a bar. So, you're around that and you're like, damn, like I really wish I could just like let loose, get a little drunk, hang out with my friends, but you just gotta visualize like the bigger picture.
Stay disciplined.
Yeah, absolutely.
So I only got 2 more for you here. Real quick. Do you bet on sports? Are you a gambler at all?
I do. I dabble.
Me too. The podcast.
My friends are complete degenerates.
I have friends that are, yes, degenerates is a good word, good way to put it. But the podcast I run is called Tapped Out. We're on the BetQL network. Got to ask you got any bets ahead of this weekend? UFC 278.
Okay, now call me crazy.
All right, let's hear it.
I would go with. I think I'm gonna go with Luke Rockhold and Leon.
You're crazy.
Edwards. I'm going with Rockhold and Edwards. I think like it's just I don't know. It could happen. I think it could go to the ground. What do you got?
That's my parlay. Kamaru Usman and Paulo Costa.
See, that's a safe one. What are you gonna get? Like, if you bet 100, you probably get 100 on that. Like,
yeah, it's like -110. Yeah.
Yeah. See, I always like to bet especially in fights. Usman has been killing it, like destroying it.
Yeah.
I think Leon Edwards is like that guy that's like, he's been also on a, like how many fight win streak now? Like he got
7 or 8. The last time he lost was against Usman.
Yeah. So, and it's not like he lost and then took like 2 fights and then fought him again. Like he lost and then like really reset and then like now building up I think he built up the confidence and he could definitely do it. Anything can happen in a fight. There's always that punch of chance.
Leon scares me more than Rockhold does. I don't know how Rockhold wins that fight. I think he's getting knocked out early.
Yeah.
But as you said, it's MMA. Anything can freaking happen.
Yeah. I think Luke Rockhold is a very technical fighter and people underestimate him a lot.
I mean, he's had some recent issues with his chin, but he's still very, very talented.
Absolutely.
If your parlay hits, I'll hit you up in the DMs and say, all right, you got me. You're right.
I'm a big football betting guy. I don't really like to bet on UFC a lot because most of the time I'm wrong. Like somehow, some way, like some parlay. I put up like a meme the other day. It was like a bunch of my friends asked me all my friends asked me who I think's gonna win.
Right.
And then I'll give them who I think. And then they'll hit me up and be like, I hate you.
Like, dude, what are you talking about?
Yeah.
That's great.
Football parlays, though, you can come to me for some football parlays. I got it.
Good to know, because I suck at betting football. I don't know how, but I can't do it. Suck at it. So I'll hit you up this year. So before we get out of here, Eric, I just want to give you the opportunity. Is there anything you want to say to your friends, families, supporters, the new fans? They're going to have your eyes on you. The mic is yours.
Yeah, no, absolutely. everybody that supports me, there's not enough words to explain how grateful I am to have you guys. I'm excited to get back into this cage. Like I said in one of my recent posts, like you're going to see the old mentality of nighttime back in the cage, not the one you saw last outing. I'm really excited, and everybody that supports me, my coaches, friends, family, like you guys know who you guys are. Like I talk to a lot of them. So, I'm ready for this, and I'm going to make you guys proud. So thanks.
Great, man. Absolutely love it. Eric, thank you for giving me some time. I know you got a lot on your mind with school and fight camp and 1 week out from the big fight. But ladies and gentlemen, if you don't know this guy, give him a follow. I'll put all his stuff below. He's a stud. He's going to get this dub, and he's going to keep going, and you're going to see him in the UFC one day. Eric Nighttime Nolan fighting at CFFC 112, August 26th. Eric, again, thank you so much.
Thank you, man. I'll see you.
Dude. Hey, if I'm there, I'll get you a beer if you after the fight, all right?
All right.
Sounds good, brother.